Okay, welcome to the Eagle Community Gardens. As you can see, we are November 7th, I think, and everything's dead. We are between gardening zones 4B, I believe, and 6A. This particular spot here, there's a creek right over there, and a big mountain range up there. I don't know if you can see that. And the cold air just sucks down this creek and in this valley, and we get really cold. We can get down to minus 25, minus 20 Fahrenheit here. So I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you my little bed that I got in May of 2022. Looks like I can't flip it around, so let's just take a look here. So here it is. It was relatively weed free when I got it. We had a bunch of purslane in it, grass and thistles, but I've just amended the soil after growing dahlias here this summer, which was somewhat successful, but I've learned a lot with such a short growing season here, how I can do better next year. All right, so apologies for the wind. It's going to come and go here. Gets like that up here in the mountains. So I actually have in my box, I have 2 bags of Tulip All Spring mix. These are both the same, and I guess I bought 100 bulbs. And the other thing that I have, if we take a look over here, are some tulip bulbs. So I've started to plant those here. I'm putting them pretty close together because I've got such a limited amount of space, and my goal here is to get a cut flower garden out of it. And so I'm just going to get these other little bulbs planted and then move on to the tulips. All right, so I've got the first row is Daffodil Ehrlicher, where that first white tag is. Oh, I have a second row, but it doesn't go all the way to the end. Up this end I've got a few of the the tulip mix. And then the next row is all tulips, and then this fourth row, halfway I've done tulips, but I've got a bit left here on this length for when the irises do come in, and I'll keep going up this bed and get as many of the bulbs in here as I can. And then this end here, I'm going to actually plant some larkspur and some other seeds that I can plant in the fall that will still come up next spring. So I think I'm going to actually build one of these tunnels also for springtime, so that when things start to come up, they don't totally get eaten up by a majorly cold day in April or May. So I got a little wiser to the wind, and I tied my hair up here. So I wanted to show you, this side here has the compost, but you can see the big mountain range in the background covered in snow already. It's the Salwatch range. And over here, got a lot of cottonwoods, but the biggest cottonwood, really old one there was a mama bear and a baby in there a lot of the summertime, and sometimes they actually jumped over this fence and came in, I think when there were a lot of perhaps watermelon rinds in our compost over here. Bit of excitement, bit of wildlife. Don't really want to run into a bear while I'm inside the gate myself, but I usually try to come when it's daylight hours so that I don't run the risk of any wild critters. The other critters that we get around here are the ground squirrels, which are quite a big problem, and some of these beds have wiring to stop them digging up. If they don't, they just burrow up through the bottom and eat your roots. So I actually don't know if my bed has that, but nothing came up this year, and so I'm just going with perhaps it does. And I'm actually going to put a layer of chicken wire down on top once I planted all these bulbs, so nothing can go in from the top when it's super hungry come springtime and it's been a cold winter. So right after my bear comment, I caught an animal moving out of the corner of my eye. Don't know if you can see those guys moving at the back corner. There's some mule deer there. It looks like a few females, and I did see a spike bull. There he is. Little baby boy trotting along behind them. Might be hard going into the sun there. They're running along there. You get a lot of these mule deer here, especially along the riparian areas here. They're getting fewer and fewer in the valley where they can just go and have access to the water without too many houses around them. Alright, so on the other side, I've been making these vases here to house all of the flowers that are going to come out of my cut flower garden. So these guys are in the drying phase. The bottoms need just a little bit more, and then they are going to go into the kiln to be bisqued, and then I'm going to decide what glaze colors. I'm thinking earthy colors, and my brother wants me to do some light blues as well, so maybe some kind of whites as well. So gonna plan that and make more of these. I've got a few shelves of ones that are a lot wetter than this, so gonna keep you posted on the progress of these vases for the cut flowers that'll be coming next spring.